Good morning. I am Vinoth from Mahendra College of Engineering. Today our topic is looping in C programming. First we need to know about the looping. Loops in programming are used to repeat the block of the code until the specified condition is met. A loop statement allows the programmers to execute the statement or group of statements multiple times without a repetition of the code. Then the purpose of C loop is to repeat the same code a number of times. Here the looping statements in C, it executes the sequence of statements many times until the stated condition becomes false. A loop in C consists of two parts, body of loop and control statement. A control statement has the break, pause, continue like that, and the body of the loop have some statement in C programs. In looping, the control statement in a combination of some condition that direct the body of the loop to be executed until the specified condition become false. The purpose of C loop is to repeat the same code at a number of times. In looping, three types. The first one is the for loop, while loop and do while loop. First one is the for loop. For loop enables the programmers to perform n number of steps together in a single line. For loop in C programming is a repetition control structure that allows the programmer to write a loop that will be executed specific number of times. The syntax of the for loop is for initialization, test expression, increment or decrement counter, then statement of the for loop, otherwise the body of for loop. First, the initialization structure, we need to initialize the value of I or j, any variable equal to 0 or 1. Just initialize one value to the variable. The second condition is the test the expression. For example, I less than or equal to 10 or I greater than 10 or j less than 10, like that we need to test the expression which we have mentioned. Then increment or decrement counter. That means in C programming we can use I plus plus as an increment counter, I minus minus as a decrement counter. I is an variable, we can use any variable at the time of execution. Next, the for loop example program has include standard input output.h void main. Here the data type integer. In C programming, the basic data types are integer, character, float, string. Here we have to include variable I as a data type of integer. For loop, first the initialization I equal to 1. Next, test the condition I less than or equal to 11. Next, increment or decrement counter I plus plus. Here in this program we have to display the numbers from 1 to 10. First, the variable I value is considered as 1. Next, the for loop repeat the same process until the condition is false, which the condition is I less than 11. If we check the first I equal to 1, I 1 less than or equal to 11, then the condition is true. Next, the looping will continue. I value is incremented by 2, 2 less than 11, the condition is true. Next, 3 less than 11, the process is continuously going on up to 10 less than or equal to 11. If then the condition is true, the value of 10 is printed. From 1 to 10 the value is printed. Next, the value is incremented by 11, 11 less than or equal to 11, then the condition become false. Now the loop will get end. Then print the value of percentage d. That means the variable value is from 1 to 10 is printed. Next, while loop. The while loop is also called as the entry control loop, which means the first the entry control loops that test the condition is checked before entering in the main body of the loop. For loop and while loop is entry control loop, and do while loop is an exit control loop. The syntax of while loop is while, check the condition, then the statement or body of while loop. Then example of while loop C program. First, declare the variable as a equal to 10. Then first test the condition, because the while loop is an entry control loop. While check the condition a less than or equal to 20. First, the initialize the value a as 10, then a less than or equal to 20, which is the condition. If first we check the condition 10 less than 20, if the condition is true, then the loop will repeat. Once the print value of a percentage d, print the value of 10. Next, the value incremented by 1, 10 plus 1 11, 11 less than 20 is printed. Then up to 10 to 19 the value will be printed. If 20 less than 20 the condition become false, the loop will get terminated. Next, do while loop. Do while loop is also called as a exit control loop, because the loop will execute check the condition at last. The do while loop is variant of the while loop. This loop will execute the code block once before checking if the condition is true. Then it will repeat the loop as long as condition is true. Then the meaning of exit control loop is the exit control loops that test the condition is evaluated at the end of the loop body. The loop body will execute at least once, irrespective of whether the condition is true or false. It may be anything, but it print only once. Do while loop, exit control loop. The syntax of a do while loop: do first print the statement at least once, then finally check the condition while condition, it may be anything, I less than or equal to 20, I greater than 15, it may be anything. Next, example of do while loop. Here scan the any one float number, then add the same number into the variable of sum, then while finally check the condition as while number not equal to 0. This is the example program for do while loop. Loop control statements. Loop control statement in C programming are used to change the execution from its normal sequence. The loop control statements are break, continue, go to. First, the break statement is used to terminate the switch and loop statement. It refers the execution to the statement immediately following the loop or switch. Continue statement skip the remainder body and immediately reset the condition before reiterating it. Go to statement transfer the control to the labeled statement. The advantages of looping. The looping, we are using the loops, we do not need to write the same code again and again. Once we write the code, The loop will repeat until the condition becomes false. It provides the code reusability. That means we can use the code only once. Using the loops, we can transfer over the elements of data structures. It may be used in the array and linked list. Here, the difference between break and continue statements are: the break statement takes the control to the outside of the loop. The continue statement takes the control to beginning of the loop. The break statement is also used in switch statement, but continue can be used only in loop statement. The break statement always associated with if condition in loops. The continue statement is also associated with if condition. And the go to statement, we have seen a number of ways of controlling the flow of execution based on the condition. C provide the go to statement to refer the control unconditionally from the place to another place in the program. The go to statement can cause the program control almost anywhere in the program unconditionally. The go to statement requires a label to identify the place of move in execution. A label is valid variable name, it must be entered with semicolon. The break statement is used to terminate the loop when the keyword break is used inside the C loop. Control is automatically transferred to the first statement after a loop. A break is usually associated with if statement. When the break statement is encountered inside a loop, the loop is immediately exit and the program continues with the statement immediately following the loop. The syntax of break statement is break and continue is an continue.